Hello and welcome to this e-learning series on transporting dry ice by ground and air presented by ICC, the Compliance Center. In this series, we will cover transportation of dry ice under the current Transportation of Dangerous Goods regulations and the IATA Dangerous Goods regulations, and both of these regulations are required to complete this training program. At any time, you may stop or pause the program to go back to review material you wish to see again. It is a good idea to print out your handout for convenience of jotting down notes and answering quiz questions. In this e-learning program, we will learn how to transport dry ice, also known as carbon dioxide solid, and to understand the regulations that apply to different modes of transport, be able to package, mark, label, document, and placard shipments of dry ice for transport by ground or air, and be able to handle dry ice safely, along with become certified under the Transportation of Dangerous Goods regulations requirements for training. Our e-learning series will be divided into 3 parts. You should have access to both the Transportation of Dangerous Goods regulations and the IATA Dangerous Goods regulations for reference as you complete this program. Part 1 will introduce us to the regulations involved in transportation of dry ice and your basic responsibilities under those regulations. Part 2 will cover the requirements for transportation by ground, such as classification and identification, packaging, hazard communication, loading requirements, and emergency response. Part 3 will cover the same topics with respect to air transport of dry ice. There will be quiz questions given during the presentation, which you may use your handout and the regulations to help you find the answers. As a reminder, you may want to print out your handout for convenience. All dangerous goods regulations are based on an international standard called the UN Recommendations for Dangerous Goods, or better known as the Orange Book. This is a basic standard that most countries and organizations use as a starting point in creating their own regulations. Shipping dangerous goods in Canada is covered by the Transportation of Dangerous Goods Act and regulations, usually referred to as TDG. TDG is based heavily on the UN recommendations. However, Transport Canada, who writes these regulations, has incorporated additional requirements and modifications that were considered important for safety within Canada. Shipment by air in Canada must comply with the ICAO technical instructions, except for certain special situations, such as shipments to remote locations. The IATA Dangerous Goods regulations were written as a user-friendly guide to the ICAO technical instructions. Compliance with the IATA Dangerous Goods regulations will normally result in compliance with the technical instructions as well.